morning. So yeah, just before we started today in Manchester, I thought I'd chat about my last few weeks. I've been talking a little bit more about mental health and about my dyslexia and all that type of stuff. So I thought I'd carry on that little story and then we'll jump on in Manchester. So yeah, I think I wanted to sort of explain that the reason I'm talking about it a little bit more is pretty much I've spent my whole life completely suppressing it and not talking about it. And then I had something happen in March this year that scared me, I brought it all up, and ever since I've been sort of battling with it a little bit more than usual. Yeah, so I figured it's probably a good time to try and explain. So what happened was, effectively, I've had dyslexia obviously since being a kid, but in truth, as I've got older, particularly in adulthood, it didn't massively affect me. I didn't think that much, and I got on with life, so I just carried on in my career. And then in March this year, I got up one day to go to work, and I had a thing called a thunderclap trauma, as the doctor called it, which is basically where you get a little bit of an infection in the body and you're unlucky, it spreads to the brain, but it's not as scary as you think. And you have this really, it's like a head injury style. In short, without going into too much and probably dramatising it more than I need to, it was, hammer on the head type of thing, constantly thinking, let's be honest, I thought that could be it. So it's a little bit of a life-changing thing. I spent 6 weeks with a serious migraine after I lost a bit of memory, and what shocked me into all this was basically losing the ability to do a few things just for a couple of months until I got back on my feet. And it wasn't permanent, so and thank God I didn't have anything really serious, but ultimately, for the few months I couldn't do, for example, I would log back onto Photoshop, forgot everything really in Photoshop. Remembered my obvious things like main things, but little tiny things I just realised I couldn't do. And then as the months went on and I on some sort of certain drugs to help me, I started to realise that not everything was okay and I couldn't do certain things or I couldn't remember how to do things. But funnily enough, after maybe 3, 4, 5 months, everything was back to normal, more or less. But my dyslexia was suddenly just really struggling with, particularly my organisation skills, concentration, spelling and grammar wasn't as good as what I'd worked on all my life. So I talked to the doctors, and effectively they just said this happens when you have this type of thing. You do lose some, them, I don't know what they call them exactly, but them sort of trails that you build in your brain, if you like, to do tasks and whatnot, and you've got to rebuild them. So I am trying to do that. So I thought long and hard about all this type of stuff. With my little girl coming into the world late last year, she's only 14 months, dyslexia is inherited as well. I just really thought to myself, I think it's about time I accepted it and maybe embraced it a little bit more, which is specifically really why I wanted to talk about it on here as well. And I just feel like I've got more to give with it, and I don't want to just hide it and pretend I've not got it or combat it, as I used to say, because that's not right. And actually I should be embracing it because it's good for what it is, which is it gives me this creative outlet. And I guess this is why I started all this vlogging, probably maybe in the first place, I'm not too sure exactly, but maybe it was just sort of to release, to get out of that daily grind of really struggling to concentrate and do the work that I would usually do a little bit easier than what I do at the moment. Talking to my wife last night, and I basically said to her, same type of thing really. I don't want to claim me growing up in this world. If she has dyslexia and have the schooling that I did and go for what I did in that regard, so I want to do everything I can to make it better for her. And maybe this vlog's not going to do it, but you never know, maybe it'll get out there, maybe just help spread that word that we're absolutely fine, we're not less intelligent than anyone else with dyslexia. It's just that we learn differently and sometimes it's a little bit more of a challenge for us. And that is it really. So we'll get back to the positives, but I wanted to catch up on that. Everything's all good and it is positive. It's a change in my life. That means I can, have a little bit freshed out with a few things and have a, look at things in a little bit different perspective. Yeah, so that's it. That's my little story. So let's crack back on in the episode. We're going to be in Manchester. I'm going to set off right now after the car is defrosted, and let's just crack on. I hope everyone's alright. So today I'm back in Manchester then, so figured I'd get that first bit out of the way, that little bit of serious stuff about dyslexia, and let's get back into the fun stuff. So yeah, I'm going to try and shoot somewhere a little bit different this morning in Deansgate. Checked out my Photo Pills app, which I love by the way. Tells you where the sun's going to hit, all that stuff, so you can marry up to some streets that you want to do some street stuff in. Absolutely can't wait, so let's get over there, see how we get on. I'm going to keep with the theme about sort of out of your comfort zone, that type of thing, so I'm going to keep going with that. Which is why I'm doing somewhere a little bit new, also vlogging a little bit in public, and yeah, let's see what we get up to.
so in short, that was a little bit of a disaster, let's be honest. I was basically here today to try to test out the new gimbal thing I bought from the phone. Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge really, to be honest, but hopefully we'll find out if we've got some new B-roll. But yeah, it was, I think I got literally one photo that I quite like, but the light is just, yeah, it was just really flat, so I guess I'm doing these vlogs every 2 weeks, can't get everything the whole time, so you know, it was quite fun. Quite enjoyed using the new gimbal, practicing B-roll, which I'm really poor at, so hopefully that sort of ties a little story together, but if not, hey ho. Okay, so as I appear from this really scary dark tunnel, I am on my lunch break, and this morning was a bit of a disaster, I'm not going to lie. I think I might have one picture which I'll have shown you already if I did. I was too busy concentrating on getting loads of B-roll with this gimbal that I basically didn't really get out and actually take any photos. So I've come out on my lunch anyway, the lights come out now, it's like how I like it, so hopefully I'm going to try and, I basically looked at photo pills again, which I'm obsessed with, and there's a few streets that it should be more or less parallel with at the moment, so we're going to get that out, and I'm going to hopefully try and get some of my usual shapes and shadows and go with that. So yeah, I'm vlogging, here we are, see what I'm up to. Right guys, that was a bit of a bust as well. So I've been out on lunch, the light is great, and I said I've got out of my comfort zone and try a new area, and basically it is building work central. Absolutely every building we're gone. So a few roads were closed off and I basically scouted it out. I am quite precise, so I know what the sun's doing obviously. I basically had these 3 streets that the sun would have you know, hit straight on, and I could have got some good shots, but they were shut, they were all closed. Honestly, the whole area down there is one big giant building site, so I've not got anything. I've taken 1 or 2 on my film camera just for later on, just for like a little project in the background, but I've not got anything else today. But I guess that's the fun of it, isn't it? I've enjoyed walking around, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I've literally got the one shot to show you, so apologies for that, but thanks for watching anyway. I hope you found it interesting. I built it up to be nothing, but you know what, sometimes that happens. And like I keep saying on this channel, I really don't want to just post these things as if I've like got all these amazing shots that I'm really proud of, because sometimes it just doesn't work, does it really? So yeah, hope you enjoyed that today. I'm going to see you hopefully in a couple more weeks when I do get some things I can show you. But for now, take it easy, and I hope you're all alright. Take care.